Do you love breakdowns? Do you need stats? Do you crave insight? Download the AllStar app. UFC, Bellator, PFL 1 Championship, and more. Ad-free, fully customizable. Download the best app in the business. Link in descriptions. Let's talk about the first one. UFC 280 coming up. It's probably one of the most highly anticipated lightweight fights in history, right? You got Makhachev versus OIiveira. You're a jiu-jitsu guy. You know, do you have bias in this? Can you break this down without bias?
Oh, it, you know what I mean? It's tough.
Yeah.
Um, I think the big fight is to see is Charles's jiu-jitsu as good as we think it is,
Mhm.
or is Islam's pressure going to keep him from being effective? I mean, I was talking with a couple of fighters about this the other day. Jiu-jitsu is amazing in terms of it's a skill set to finish a fight. I always find wrestling is the bridge. Striking, you finish fights. Jiu-jitsu, you finish fights. Wrestling helps you keep a fight where you want it. There's no wrestling technique that you're like, oh, that's how we finish the fight wrestling. Like, no, it's either going to be some form of ground and pound or jiu-jitsu. Um, I do think Oliveira's jiu-jitsu right now is his confidence level is at an all-time high. I feel like even in his brain, the minute you hit the ground, you don't have a chance. And rightfully so, as he's gone through and basically just murdered everyone that's ever touched the ground. You see everybody, even when they rock him, don't want to go to the ground. Normally the old additive, oh, it's a black belt, you punch him, he becomes a brown belt. Well, you've seen a lot of people knock that black belt down and go, no, no, we don't really want to play that game.
Mhm.
So I think it'll be interesting to see if Islam really wants to go there. I think if it stays in the feet, I do think that Charles has an advantage there, especially just in the way that he can walk you down. He doesn't there's no worry about getting hit. There's no I'm not, oh my God, I can't get no. He just marches you down right now. And if he gets hit, he waits for you to try to come on the ground with him. So um, I think that's what we're going to see. What is the game plan that Islam really wants to implement in this fight? How is he going to go about fighting Charles? That's the big question to me.
I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I was saying to them, like, Charles, he could go in there and initiate the wrestling and, possibly set traps for Islam. I think people are not thinking about that right now.
Well, and that's phenomenal jiu-jitsu game is you can hide it. If you're not afraid to pull guard, you can make it look like wrestling to get to the position that you want to. You know what I mean? There's no you don't have to just jump guard. You can actively look for the clinch and strike your way through, and you can really use a pressure to make somebody make that mistake of going to the ground with you. As where wrestling it's kind of wrestling like you
Yeah.
just it's not all that complicated. It's difficult as all hell, but you smash somebody, you smash. Okay, good. Like we're gonna get up to our feet, and then we're gonna smash you on top again. Where jiu-jitsu you can play from top or bottom, and it makes it all the more dangerous. So um, could be it's that's one of those chess matches that you want to watch. That's an exciting. It's like the anti-heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
You want to see what they're actually gonna do. As where you get the heavyweights and you're like, good, they're gonna hit each other in the face. That's gonna be wonderful. But this one you just don't know. You don't know how they're gonna approach it. So it's an exciting fight from that standpoint.
What if Islam gets swept and now he's on his back and Charles is on top?
I mean, have we seen Islam on his back?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think we've ever seen him on
I
his back.
so I it's and everybody does things in the gym. Everybody can say how comfortable they are in the gym, and I've worked with this high level fighter, and I've worked with this amazing black belt, and I've yada yada yada. It's another thing to be on your back in the bright lights with somebody that has a reputation like Oliveira's and a history like Oliveira's. So to say, yeah, no, I'll be fine there. You're like, will you though? Will you? I don't know. Yeah, it's maybe once, maybe twice, but I feel like that's not the place that he wants to be. Hell, I tell all my fighters, I'm like, even if you are a good jiu-jitsu fighter, don't fight from your back. Don't accept, guard. Don't fall to your back. Like, everything should be to either be on top or be on your feet. Should be your active goals from that position. There's no point where I'm like, oh, good, let's really, bring them into your guard. Yeah, you've got a great close guard game. Said no one ever, unless you're talking about Charles OIiveira or Charles OIiveira. So, you really try to get those kids to avoid that position. I don't want anybody to feel comfortable there. So, we'll see how well he can avoid that position and not make mistakes if Charles even wants to put him there. I mean, does he just want to keep hunting from his back, thinking that he'll catch him before he goes? Yeah, I think the transitions in this will be mind blowing, just as in most fights with these higher level guys, when you start to see their transition game and how they attack from the bottom to the top, the striking to the ground. I think it's going to be amazing.